everyone, Flaming Footy here, and welcome back to a new video on the channel. And today, guys, here we are for a brand new series on the channel. Now, of course, AFL off season is well and truly underway, but I'm going to be reviewing every game of the 2022 AFL season with an AFL 2022 season review. Now, there's going to be a fair few of these. Going to be going over a couple of rounds per episode. These episodes are not going to be too long. Going to be going over every single game with every single result. Not going into too much detail, but we're going to be going over after every round as well. So let's go ahead and hop right into things. However, the channel has hit 500 subscribers. You can obviously tell in my voice that I am over the moon about this. Thank you guys all so much. There is going to be a subscriber special coming out, and I have a fair few things planned for the special. Of course, the community tab has come out as well, so make sure to go ahead and check that out if you want to see some of the posts that I have made. But yes, 500 subscribers. I just want to keep growing from here, but more will be said in the upcoming 500 subscriber special. So the season started off with a grand final rematch for the first time on a Wednesday night at the time slot of 7:10 or 6:40 my time. Now, this was interesting. Some people liked this, some people didn't. Now, I'm just going to run my thoughts over this real quick, because obviously going to be going over some big moments as well in this series. Now, I actually like this. I'm actually quite a fan of the Wednesday night start. Now, some people probably don't like Wednesday night starts, which I'd be, yeah, sure. But I like the idea of having a grand final rematch to start the season. It starts the season with a bit of a rivalry, and you want to win that game. And Melbourne did exactly that by 26 points over the Western Bulldogs. A Geelong-Sydney Wednesday night game to start off the 2023 season. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, Thursday night, the Blues got over the Tigers by 25 points in what was a game full of big moments. The first time they'd conquered the Tigers in a little while. And Sam Dockerty makes his return from cancer, which is a massive moment in the world of footy. And the Tigers get knocked off their throne that they have been so commonly on in the last couple of seasons. The Pies, they start their season off strongly, beating the Saints by 17 points. The Cats start their dream season off with a smashing of the Bombers by 66. The Swans get the job done in a round one derby by 20 points. The Power, they play okay up at the Gabba, but the Lions in the end get the job done by 11 to start off their season. Hawthorn beat the Roos by 20 points. Heath Chapman has got the save of the year. There was an award for that. That would go to him for his goal, match-winning thump back into play against the Adelaide Crows at the Adelaide Oval in round one. Absolute scenes there. And Heath Chapman, if there was to be an award for that, he would have won it. That was an insane spoil back over to keep the ball in play. Insane stuff there by Heath Chapman. And a COVID decimated West Coast Eagles side loses to the Gold Coast Suns for the first time ever at Optus Stadium, I believe. They lose by 27 points. So, hang on. We're not going to go to round two just yet. We're going to have a look at the ladder from after round one. So obviously the ladder was nowhere near set, but we had the Cats in first with a high percentage, the Demons in second, followed by Hawthorn, Gold Coast, Carlton, and then in sixth, Sydney, 7th, Collingwood, 8th, Brisbane, 9th, Fremantle, and then 10th, the Crows, 11th, Port Adelaide, 12th, St Kilda, 13th, GWS, 14th, Richmond, 15th, West Coast, 16th, North, 17th, the Doggies, and 18th, the Essendon Bombers after their 66-point loss to the Cats. So, round two, again, brought some more footy, some more brilliant action, and some more teams that were flying, just like Carlton were at the time. They won by 12 points against the Western Bulldogs on a Thursday night epic. The Blues got off to a mammoth lead, and the Dogs had to claw their way back to lose by 12. Buddy Franklin, this will be a moment never to be forgotten in AFL history. Buddy Franklin kicks his 1,000th goal under Friday night footy lights at the SCG against Geelong. The whole country can see it. Absolutely insane stuff there as the Swans get over the Cats, eventual grand finalists at the SCG by 30 points. But Buddy Franklin's 1,000th goal, you could not forget that. And this is potentially the last time this will ever happen. What a great player for Sydney and Hawthorn. What a great footballer, Buddy Franklin. He deserved his 1,000th goal, and he got it. Collingwood comfortably got over the Adelaide Crows by 42 points to go 2-0. The Lions did get over the Bombers. It took them a while, but they did end up getting there in the end in one of Lachie Neale's best performances you'll ever see. Hawthorn pull off one of the upsets of the season by travelling to Adelaide to upset Port Adelaide by 64 points at the Adelaide Oval. And then the Demons, in the end, register the 4 points over Gold Coast by 13 points. North Melbourne beat a half-waffle West Coast side by 15 to register their first win of the season. Meanwhile, Richmond continue sitting on their throne over the Giants at the MCG, beating them by 36 points. And then in the West, the Saints pull off an upset, beating the Dockers by 10 points to go 2-0. There is the ladder after round 2. Hawthorn sit on top of the table after round 2. Collingwood in second, followed by Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, as well as Carlton, the teams that were 2-0. Geelong, Gold Coast, Richmond, North Melbourne, St Kilda, Fremantle were the teams that were 1-1. And then teams without a win at this stage were the Western Bulldogs, West Coast, Adelaide, GWS Essendon, and then Port Adelaide sitting on the bottom of the table. So the inaccurate Dogs, 9-17-71 in the end, get over the Swans to start off another brilliant round of footy, which was round 3. Then the Demons, they get over Essendon by 29 points in the end to continue their dream run. Adelaide win the first ever Friday night showdown with a kick after the sign for brand new recruit Jordan Dawson. He somehow gets it's a bit of a shank to start off with. It works his way back through, and the Crows win by 4 points, which will see them notch up their first win of the season, and Port Adelaide go 0-3. The Giants get over the Suns by 26 points at Giants Stadium. And then one of the chokes of the season, Collingwood, they somehow are known, they do know how to choke. They choke up about a roughly 37-point lead to the Cats due to some Cameron Magic. He gets 6 goals in the end to lead his side to a 13-point victory. Brisbane smashed North Melbourne by 108 points at the Gabba on other Saturday night footy. The Blues, they pull off another upset. Well, not an upset, but another close, tight win in their season. They beat the Hawks by 1. St Kilda beat the Tigers at Marvel Stadium. And then the Dockers beat the Eagles in the Western Derby by 55 points. After round 3, there it is. Brisbane atop the table along with Melbourne and Carlton 3-0. Hawthorn, Fremantle, Collingwood, Geelong, Sydney, St Kilda, other teams 2-1. Teams that are 1-2 include Gold Coast, Richmond, the Western Bulldogs, GWS, Adelaide and North Melbourne. Port Adelaide, West Coast, Essendon sitting on the bottom of the table looking for wins. Final round of the episode, round number 4, saw Melbourne comfortably get over the Power at the Adelaide Oval for the Power to slump to a 0-4 start. The Cats continue their dominance in season 2022, notching a 10-point win over the Lions at GMHBA Stadium. The Swans, they survive a scare from North Melbourne at the SCG, winning by 11 points despite a feisty North Melbourne outfit. Meanwhile, talk about feisty, the feisty Eagles got over the Pies at Marvel Stadium. Don't know why the game was played at Marvel Stadium, but it was, and the Eagles got over them by 13 points to notch up their first win of the season. The Tigers get over another inaccurate Dogs outfit on Saturday night at the MCG with Shea Bolton kicking one of the goals of the season. Didn't win goal of the year, but won the goals of the season. And then Fremantle comfortably get over the Giants on the other Saturday night game in Perth. Essendon, they notched up their first win of the year, beating the Adelaide Crows at Marvel Stadium despite a pretty good game from both sides. St Kilda, they comfortably smashed the Hawks by 69 points to continue another great start to their season. And the Blues taste victory for the first time in 2022 at Medcon Stadium, losing to the Gold Coast Suns by 30 points. So Melbourne were the only team 4-0 after round 4, and then it was the Lions, the Dockers, the Saints and the Cats, as well as the Swans and the Blues, all on 12 points with 3-1. Collingwood, Gold Coast, Richmond and Hawthorn were 2-2, and then teams with the win were the Crows, the Giants, the Doggies, the Eagles, the Bombers and North Melbourne, with Port Adelaide sitting on the bottom of the table, still looking for their first win of the season. Okay, so that'll do us for the first episode of the AFL 2022 season review. This is episode number 1. Episode number 2 will be out very soon. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.